Last night I went to the Castle pub in Bruton at an event organised by the local Labour Party and my union, Unite, and we saw the film I, Daniel Blake. If anyone's in any doubt about why we need to unseat our Conservative MP in Somerton and Frome, they need to see that film. There are people around the country and in this constituency whose lives are literally being destroyed by this government's harsh austerity programme, and if they get in with a bigger majority, it's going to be worse for those people. People cannot wait 5 years. It is literally a matter of life and death for the most vulnerable people in our constituency. So we as the Green Party say that's a heavy responsibility on all of us in this election. We need to unseat the Conservative MP David Warburton, and the only way we could conceivably do that is by getting all of the votes for Labour supporters, Green supporters and LibDems behind one candidate. That's why we're saying at this stage, before we have to put in the final nominations on May the 11th, at this stage we should be doing everything in our power to see if we can come to some arrangement, find one unity candidate that we can all get behind. There's no way that we could unseat the Conservative without doing that. If you look at the figures from 2015, the LibDem cannot hope to win back that seat without Labour and Green supporters voting for them, and even then we have a mountain to climb. And the same is true for both the other parties. Therefore, we need to try and find a unity candidate at this stage, or discuss with each other what arrangements we can make. And that's what we're urgently trying to do. And we urge you to put pressure on all of us to try and find that arrangement, if possible, to keep talking and keep thinking. We don't need to panic. There's still time to work it out, and we don't need to jump to conclusions before we've thought really carefully about the best way forward. Who would be the strongest candidate? Who would have the resources behind them? And how would we run such a campaign? But do remember that if we achieved this in Somerton and Frome, where we are very creative as it happens, if we achieved this, we'd create a buzz in this election, not only locally, but nationally. We would have the attention of the social media, the mainstream media. People would literally come to this constituency to fight for the unity candidate, and we'd have a chance then of winning over some of those Conservative votes and possibly unseating David Warburton. Without such a strategy, I can't see how we could do it. So that's where I want to leave it, and just say, if you haven't seen that film, I, Daniel Blake, it's on Friday, May the 5th at the football club in Frome, and it would be a great place to get together and remind ourselves of why we have to really put our heads together and take seriously our responsibility to find a way to unite all the votes against the Conservative and try and get a voice in Parliament that represents the people who most desperately need it now.